Plaintiff, Altuan Moore, says the defendant is his mother, and she had him at a young age. Altuan says his mother couldn't take care of him because she was a drug addict, so he lived with his grandmother and was in and out of foster care. Altuan is suing his mother for breach of contract, stolen property, and emotional distress. Defendant Natrina Moore admits that she is a recovering drug addict whose drug of choice was crack cocaine. But she insists the reason she couldn't raise Altuan was because she was young and still in high school when he was born. Natrina is countersuing for an unpaid loan.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Me and my mother, we always had a very rocky relationship. My mom had me at 16. She stated that she couldn't take care of me, so she sent me off to my grandmother. For 8 years, I only seen her maybe about twice. She claimed that she didn't want me because she was too into drugs and into men. My mother finally came to get me at 8 years old. When I had turned 10, she had made a false report against me against the police, stating that I tried to pull a knife out on her. The police came. They believed her side because she was the parent and I was the child. They took me to I went to different type of therapy. Foster care, independent living programs, different places like that.
For how long?
For about 8 or 9 years. And she never...
Until you were an adult?
Till I was an adult. Because what happened was when I was in the programs, I wouldn't talk to people. So the state became a part of my life and, they moved me around from home to home. She only seen her maybe when I was in the programs, maybe 3 or 4 times.
That is not true.
Was she still a dope fiend?
Yeah, she has told me on several occasions that
she was a dope fiend.
She was a dope fiend using meth.
Let me hear from you, ma'am, about that.
That's not true. I had Altuan at a young age, at the age of 15. The reason why he was given to his father's mother was because I wasn't able to get food stamps. My mother was taking care of me because I was young. Okay, I hadn't finished school. I didn't have a job. I wasn't able to take care of him. Yes, I was wrong because I didn't use protection. But at that particular time, my mom didn't teach me about contraceptives.
Well, we're glad it didn't happen that time because we have him.
Right.
So we're glad
and I thank God for him.
Go ahead, ma'am.
And I do love him, and I do apologize that I was not able to be there completely like he says, but...
Were you a dope fiend?
Yes, I'm a recovering addict. And
you
he knows
recovering dope fiend?
Addict.
Dope fiend.
Well, I didn't use dope. I used cocaine.
That's dope.
Oh, okay. What dope? Yes.
You're definitely still getting high if you don't think that cocaine is dope.
Yes.
Oh, I know sometimes they call heroin dope, right?
Yes.
That's what you mean?
Yes.
Hardcore drug addicts, they know that dope is called heroin. And when you're in the real depths of addiction, drug environments, they call heroin is what they refer to as dope. And if it's not heroin, it's not dope. Okay, I understand now. Okay. So you, crack was your drug of choice?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I started drugs at a very young age, which was true. The only thing about Altuan's story that he's telling is not completely true, because he lived with his father's mother and he wasn't shipped to home. And I don't know what took place in the home.
He never became a ward of the state?
He became a ward of the state, I believe, at the age of 15.
For
up until he was 18.
Years?
No, that's not true, Your Honor. I became a ward of the state at 10 or 11 years old.
What's your understanding of why?
Altuan, well, when he was young, he was very troubled. He was very troubled. His father wasn't part of his life when I first had him. He wasn't given up at birth. He was given to his father's mother at the age of 4. Okay? At the age of 8, they returned him to me.
By age 4?
He was troubled.
By age 4?
No, 8. When they returned him to me, I had trouble with him in the home.
No stuff.
Yeah, he was saying he
Almost
would.
made me curse.
Well, I'm being honest. He would break up. He would break
shocked.
the windows.
I'm shocked.
He would throw bricks through the window.
I'm
He
shocked.
would actually.
That's not true. She wasn't even
This
a
is the
part of my
truth.
life, so she
I
doesn't
am
even know.
shocked.
This is the truth.
I've
This is the
never
truth.
heard of
This
a
is the
child having troubles when a parent was a dope fiend and had given them up. I
wasn't a dope fiend when he was giving up.
I never heard of that.
I wasn't on drugs when he was giving up.
Okay, for
I
whatever
couldn't
reason.
afford to take care of him at that time, and I wasn't finished school.
What years were you a dope fiend? What age was he when you became a dope fiend?
About 11.
Okay. Your math is all the way off. I'm gonna leave it alone, man.
27.
Huh?
She'd be 27 when she
Right.
started.
Go ahead. That'd be right.
Well, it's true. I was 27.
When I had turned, I would say maybe about 22, I was probably about 22, 23 years old. My mother was in a drug rehab. And I haven't seen her in so many years, so I figured, most people change, after a while. When I was about 23, she said, son, why don't we get a place together? I said, Mom, okay, that sounds like a good idea, because I was working part-time. So I said, this will save me some money. At the time, I was living in a room. So this to save me some money. We ended up living together. The agreement on the rent it was a 3-bedroom house, $650 a month. She was supposed to pay $4, I was supposed to pay $650. She claimed on the 26th or the 27th of February when she got her check that somebody robbed her. I said, Mom, that's a sob excuse. If somebody robbed you in Philadelphia where we live, they would shoot you. They ain't gonna just rob you. They're gonna shoot you or do whatever. So she claimed she couldn't pay the rent. So I had to pay the rent on her behalf.
Go ahead.
The end of February, I was gonna send my cousin an iPod for her birthday. And I called my mom and I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm gonna send Irie an iPod. She stated that, why don't you give it to me? I said, no, because I bought you things in the past and you haven't taken care of it. So I went on my dresser the following day and the iPod was gone. I said, Mom, where's my iPod? I haven't seen your iPod, Al. And then she finally confessed to stealing it. She sold it to the next door neighbor for a bag of weed or whatever. And he sold it to somebody else.
That is not true.
So I said, Mom, she signed a contract stating within 30 days she was going to repay me for the iPod and the rent, and she hasn't given me a dime.
Ma'am?
Your Honor. First of all, that is not true. He did not want the iPod. The iPod was broke from the get-go. Me and Antoine been on rocky
What'd
grounds.
you do with the iPod?
I gave it to a neighbor because it was broke.
Neighbors like broken iPod?
He said he could fix it. He said he could fix it. It's the
Did the neighbor
truth.
fix it?
I don't even know. I didn't even care that much about the iPod because it was broke. I didn't think it was such a big deal about it, but
understood.
obviously it was.
Did you sign
and
that, ma'am?
that's not all
Did you
to
sign
it.
that?
Yes, I did
That
sign
says
that.
you acknowledge stealing it. You got robbed in February?
No, the only thing about it is that I told him he has my child support
I
rears
said,
card.
did you get robbed?
Yes.
All right. That's why you didn't pay the rent that time?
No, the reason why I didn't pay the rent is because he told me he wanted the money for his iPod that night. He wanted the money back within 4:00 p.m. I told Antoine there was no way in the world I would be able to get no money back for his iPod. And for us him moving in with me, he asked me could he move with me. I just came out of a program. Okay, we
How
tried
long
to
ago?
make it work.
How long ago?
I have 2 years.
Why did you steal if you just come out of a program?
I took the iPod.
Right, stole, right.
It was broke.
Stole.
If you say I sold it, then
That's what you say.
I said I took it.
No, that's what this says, stole.
That's what he
This says
said.
stole, and you signed it.
I didn't read
I'm
it.
gonna get rid of you real quick because I can't take much more of this. You've perjured yourself, and I don't believe anything you're saying. I think that you're still a dope fiend. You stole your son's iPod. You come in here talking about he was a troubled youth after you abandoned him for crack. Then when he comes to stay with you for whatever short amount of time it was, you're shocked that he is troubled as a result of the confusion, resentment, and all the other things that build up in children who are abandoned by crackheads. Who are abandoned by crackheads. Let me get you out of here, young man.
Thank you.
I am so proud of you. You sound like you're well-spoken. You're well-spoken, well-dressed. You didn't come in here looking like a thug with your pants hanging down like a lot of young adults who grew up in a tough environment. Advise you to keep moving forward and don't expose yourself to this type of activity. She's your mother. Maintain a relationship, but protect yourself. That's all I advise young people to do when they have a dope fiend parent. Don't move in with her. Don't loan her any money that you need to get back. You understand?
Well, I loaned
She's your
him
mother.
money.
Be quiet. She's your mother.
Right.
She is your mother. And there's a lot of people on dope for a lot of different reasons.
Right.
But those in recovery don't lie in folks' face.
Right.
And they don't say, I stole from a person just a few months ago and claim that they were in recovery. So she's still a dope fiend. Pray for her. And if she comes to you asking you for something, say, yeah, mama, once you go to rehab, you can come back and live with me after you complete rehab, and then keep your eye open.
Right.
And if it
It
looks
was
like
my
she's
place,
going
Your
back, be
Honor.
quiet. If it looks like she's going back into those same patterns, then tell her she has to leave or go to rehab or what have you. If you're staying with her, then move. Sounds like she's trying to say you stayed in her house even though you paid the rent and she's stealing from you. Just live your own life. Do for yourself as you have, and don't go for this game.
Right.
And clearly you haven't.
Right.
That's why you're suing her. You wouldn't go off for the game.
Plaintiff Altuan Moore says the defendant is his mother, but he claims she was unable to raise him because she was addicted to crack cocaine.
That is unpaid loan, $1,500. How does he owe you? I'm gonna give you a chance to talk crazy a little more. Why? How does he owe you $1,500, ma'am?
Because I lent him my child support card, and he hasn't yet returned it. And I was nice enough to lend
You
it to him
received child support for him.
No, I receive arrears.
For him.
No, for me.
But on his, for the
Because
years
it's not
that,
true. I
for the-
took care of him for the year. All of this is a lie. Why? I do not know.
You admitted you didn't.
I do not know. I
You
didn't say
admitted
that.
earlier you didn't, ma'am. What are you talking about?
I've been in and out of the court
You're
system
pitiful,
with
ma'am.
him
Your
for
claim,
years.
Your claim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,175. I would hope you're willing to take a drug test.
I don't care.
All right, and if the drug test comes out positive, will you go to rehab?
I don't need to go now. You already told him he don't have to pay me
So
back.
that means no. Got you. Have a good day.
Continue doing what you're doing, Mom. I'm not going to do anything for you. We can continue to have a mother-son relationship.
To be honest with you, I love you, but I think it's best that I get out on my own because I don't like the lies that was told in court today, and I'm sorry.